Hello and welcome to our kitchen. Today's going to be the first video of hopefully many in a series of videos that will go through all the different things that I like to cook for my family, being very easy, very quick to do, but also very filling and very delicious. But today, it's a Sunday, we've got a little bit of extra time on our hands. The week's about to start, the working week, so we are going to do the holy grail of all roasts, and that is the roast pork, and most importantly, the crackling on top of the roast pork. Now, today we're going to cook this in probably the best cooking utensil in... Hello. Wow. The best cooking utensil that you can have in your kitchen being the air fryer. This air fryer is just a cheap yoke from Kmart. It is a bit bigger. I don't remember exactly the literage. Maybe it's about 7 liters or something. But it's big enough to fit the roast pork in. So yeah, let's get into it. The first thing that you want to do is grab some paper towel and completely dry the whole roast. Then sprinkle some salt over the skin and throw the roast into the fridge. The salt is going to draw some of that moisture out of the skin, and it's just going to help us get that crackling going. Ideally, you want to do this 24 hours before you start cooking, but any time in the fridge is going to help. I'm going to put this in the fridge for about an hour, but honestly, if you are pressed for time, you could skip this step altogether. Your crackling will work fine as long as you follow the rest of the steps in this video. Once you pull the roast out of the fridge, we're going to dry it again with some paper towel, then get a sharp knife and cut some scores into the skin. Most butchers around my area will have already cut some scores into the skin, but personally I think we need some more. When cutting the skin, make sure you don't go too deep, as you do not want to cut into the meat. Next, you want to put some sort of rack in or over your sink, put the roast on top of it, and then pour some boiling water over the skin. What you will notice is the scores that we've just cut are going to start opening up, and that's going to allow us to get that oil and salt into the skin at a later step, improving the end result of our crackling. You can see the cuts that the butcher put in on the skin opening up here as well, and as you can see, there's just really not enough if we really want to get that crackling going. One additional step for the roast as a whole is to season the fleshy parts of the roast. This is to personal taste. I don't often even do this step, but I thought I would add it for the sake of the video. I'm just using some garlic salt, onion powder, and a tiny bit of pepper that I've just rubbed into the meat there with some olive oil. But you can use whatever seasoning you like with your pork. This is all just to personal taste. Now, grab some paper towel and you want to dry absolutely everything now. Remember, any moisture here is the enemy. Make sure all the skin is dry, even inside the scores. As you can see here, I'm running that paper towel in the cuts just to make sure that there is zero moisture on the skin. Now that the skin is all dry, we're going to rub in some oil. I'm using olive oil here. Make sure to, again, get that oil into the scores. And once that's all oiled, you're going to want to hit it with the salt. Don't be shy with the salt either. You'd prefer to have slightly salty crackling rather than having tasteless crackling. If you do go a little bit overboard with the salt, you can dust that excess off once it's cooked. only thing to do now to make sure it's ready is to give it a little smack. Now the good thing about cooking is you're always learning, always evolving, new techniques come into play. This is the best that I have come up with, or that I think you can do the roast pork currently. But if you have any other suggestions, maybe I'm doing something a little bit wrong, maybe I can do something better, leave a comment and I'm gonna give it a try. Now, this is ready to go into the air fryer. Place it straight into the air fryer, skin side up for 30 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius or 390 degrees Fahrenheit. This is what it looks like after 30 minutes. As you can see, the crackling is already nearly there. We're going to down the temperature on the air fryer now to 170 degrees Celsius or 340 Fahrenheit and cook until the internal temperature is where you want it. For me, I like to aim for an internal temp of about 67 degrees Celsius, which is about 153 Fahrenheit. This roast is 2.1 kilos or 4.6 pounds, so it took another 70 minutes to get that internal temperature right. Okay, so now this is done, it's important to let it rest, maybe 10-15 minutes, just to make sure those juices go back in there. This is looking pretty damn good, I do say so myself, so I'm excited to try it, but patience is a virtue. Now, if you do try this recipe, please leave a comment, let me know how you go, see if there's any issues that you had, I'll reply to everyone. Again, if you think I can do anything better, let me also know. So this is just going to be covered in foil. I'll be back in at 15 minutes to enjoy it, and I'll show you. Oh, get it under there. Show you what it looks like when we cut it open. And now I've peeled off the rope, so this little bit's fallen off, but this is the finished product. Like taste test. Sounds good.
Yep.
Perfect. Nice and juicy. Delicious.